Yes, me lord.
Okay. Are we still on? Sorry, I don't know what's happening here. My phone just decided to... Oh yeah, I did go off. Sorry for that. Alright. Let's see. 36 is this way.
Hello, sir. What do you want?
Hello, Ma'am. I would like to speak with Mr. Levy. Do you know if he's in?
I am Mrs. Levy, his wife. He's not arrived yet.
Do you know when he'll be in?
No idea. You know, he works at the butcher's and helps at the slaughterhouse. It often happens that he doesn't come in until early morning and then leaves right away.
Well, listen. As soon as your husband Joseph returns, tell him that...
My husband isn't called Joseph.
You aren't the wife of Joseph Hyam Levy?
No, of course not. I'm the wife of Jacob Levy. Mr. Hyam Levy used to live here with his parents, but he moved.
Mommy, who's the man that you are talking to?
But this poor child has syphilis. He carries the mark on his face.
Leave us, children. Go back inside with your brothers and sisters.
Yes, Mother.
As I was saying, Mr. Hyam Levy doesn't live here. He works in a butcher's near Aldgate, but I don't know exactly where. But if you find him, he will surely live next door. Butchers always live near their work.
Could you possibly give him a message on my behalf?
I don't see him often, and, well, even though we know him, we aren't on friendly terms, you see?
Is he bothering you, Mommy?
No, Simon, not at all.
That's a handsome boy you have. It's strange that he has light hair.
He takes after his father. Strong, with light hair.
Wait, he sounds familiar to me. A man of about 50 years old, very big, at least 6 feet tall, and left-handed, correct?
You are mistaken yet again. My husband is only 32 years old, no taller than 5'3", and he's right-handed.
Obviously, there are many Levies in the area. I will leave you, and I pray that you will excuse the disturbance. Perhaps we will have the pleasure of meeting again. Farewell, Ma'am.
Goodbye, sir.
Oh dear.
Daddy!
I must return to Baker Street. Let's go to Baker Street. Well, Watson, not looking so good.
Whose fault is that, Holmes? If you hadn't shown me your masterpiece in clay...
Some actions have much larger repercussions than would be assumed at first glance. Listen, Watson, in a few minutes I will leave Baker Street in order to meet Jack the Ripper and put an end to his crimes. Beforehand, I want to go over all our discoveries to assure myself that everything is clear.
Jack the Ripper? You know the identity of Jack the Ripper?
Without a shadow of a doubt, Watson, and I assure you that we are in possession of all the elements required to determine who Jack the Ripper is. Would you like to do this work with me? Well, we are still missing certain information in order to finish this investigation, Watson.
A piece of C. Adams' apron was cut out. C. Adams' piece of apron was found on Goulson Street. A message accusing the Jews. Whitechapel killer left a message accusing the Jews. Goulson Street. Jack the Ripper wants to accuse someone who lives in Goulson Street. Jack the Ripper has a score to settle with the Jewish community. Jack the Ripper wants to put the police on the wrong track. Okay, score to settle. The Adam's nose was cut out. Edo's eyelids were cut. Cheeks were slashed to become thinner. Syphilis deforms a patient's face. Jack the Ripper wanted to give his last victims the appearance of syphilis. Jack the Ripper wanted to rip faces of his last victim. Jack the Ripper wanted to disfigure the last victims in order to cause sensation. M.J. Kelly was disfigured. Jack the Ripper wants us to compare him to a terminal illness. Jack the Ripper seems like he suffers from syphilis. Jack the Ripper was confronted with syphilis. So this is about P. Nichols and Chapman. Chapman was holding an envelope in her hand. C. Eddowes held a thimble in her hand. Jack the Ripper offered a gift to each of his victims before killing them. Diverted the attention of his victims before killing them. Victims knew each other and had things in common. Diverted their attention. Alright, so now it's from took place on the premises, was partially strangled and then throat slit, unfeeling and organized, The Whitechapel killer proceeded in the same way. Whitechapel killer must have been accompanied. Whitechapel killer extorted his victim. Whitechapel killer proceeded in the same way. It is not the same man who killed P. Nichols and A. Chapman. It is the same man who killed P. Nichols and A. Chapman. The Whitechapel killer had accomplished. Same man. It's the same man who killed L. Stride and C. Eddowes. Jack the Ripper as an accomplice. Not the same man who killed L. Stride and C. Eddowes. It's the same man. Okay, P. Nichols killer is a strong man. L. Stride, strong man. Jack the Ripper possesses great physical force. He's a corpulent man. Is a tall man. Okay, great physical force. MJ Kelly had a throat slit the same way as the other victims. The accomplice could not have committed these 5 murders. Jack the Ripper definitely killed P. Nichols, A. Chapman, L. Stride, C. Eddowes, and MJ Kelly. Okay. Alright, so the murderer cut open P. Nichols' throat. A. Chapman's killer used a weapon of great size. Killer wanted to decapitate her. Knife used in L. Stride's murder was thin. Same butcher's knife was used in the crimes against P. Nichols, A. Chapman, L. Stride, C. Eddowes, and MJ Kelly. A. Chapman killer has a knowledge of anatomy. Eddowes murderer knew anatomy. Murderer opened C. Eddowes' abdomen like that of an animal. Murderer has knowledge of anatomy. Whitechapel killer is a scientist. Whitechapel killer possesses a large knife collection. Whitechapel killer is or was a butcher. This is the latest person. Okay, so there is no organ trafficking in London. A. Chapman's uterus was removed and taken. Many of MJ Kelly's organs were detached. MJ Kelly's lungs were subject to incision. C. Eddowes' liver and lungs underwent small incisions. Kelly hesitated on the organs to remove, wanted to verify the health of his victims. Kept going at it, verify the health. MJ Kelly's heart was removed the same way as the other murders. Edo's kidney and uterus were removed. Victims each had a deformity. Removed the victim's organs when he could. Lost organs, some of his victims, when he examined them. Each had a deformity? No. So he removed the victim's organs when he could. The murderer stole A. Chapman's rings. Annie Chapman's rings were worthless. The murderer searched A. Chapman. The murderer searched C. Eddowes. Murderer was looking for money or objects of value. Murderer was looking for something that the victim stole from him. Murderer was setting up a ritual around the bodies. No, not so. Money of value. And killer's work is a fetishist. Collects trophies. Okay, so not trophies. What? Poor. P. Nichols' murderer is right-handed or left-handed. Chapman's killer is right-handed. Pride's killer is right-handed. Edo's murderer is right-handed. Edo's reveal murderer is right-handed.
Perfect, Watson. Let's determine who Jack the Ripper is, Watson. Thus, we have 5 suspects. Let's add the elements that correspond to each of them.
Right-handed, right-handed, right-handed. Jack the Ripper was confronted with syphilis. Poor. No. There's a butcher. Court to settle with the Jewish committee. This is great physical strength. This person, no. Person. No. The light-colored fair mustache. Only this one. Oh. Jack the Ripper lives in the wall. Okay. Not you. Has workman's clothes. Hmm? Why does he have a... I mean, I did it. I put it there earlier and it didn't...
And there you go, Watson. Jacob Levy, Jack the Ripper.
Fantastic, Holmes. And terrifying. But some aspects of this case are still unclear, at least for me.
For example, Watson?
Why does the man only kill prostitutes?
The man kills prostitutes because he blames them for the misery of his life. He must have frequented them assiduously, and during these nocturnal visits, he contracted syphilis, which he passed on to his spouse, and via her, at least one of his children. He is an angry man in despair following a mistake that cannot be fixed.
Why does he only kill such miserable prostitutes?
He never had the means to afford prostitutes of higher standing than Nichols, Chapman and the others. At one point in his life he was forced to steal to make ends meet. This indiscretion cost him dearly. He was imprisoned and exiled from his community. He had frequented low-class prostitutes, thus it was they who infected him and they who must pay.
But why did he remove the organs?
To take vengeance on his own community, which rejected him and had more success than he. He is a man who bore the burden of a sinister reputation, that of a thief and a madman, because of his internment. So he took his vengeance in the most cowardly and horrific manner imaginable. He rubbed his knife on the uterus of a sick prostitute before using it. He passed Edow's kidney off as a veal kidney.
Why did he disfigure the faces of the last two victims?
Revenge yet again, Watson. This is what you did to my child. You will suffer the same fate.
And the piece of apron and the message at Goulston Street?
The only reason to have placed the piece of apron incriminating the message and attracting attention towards himself is that the people that Levy holds responsible for his arrest live in this building. The butcher's where he committed the theft is found in Goulston Street, and the majority of the butchers who denounced him surely live close to their workplaces.
But finally, Holmes, why didn't his wife or anyone else notice anything?
His wife has many children and must be very busy. The man is a butcher, which must facilitate things when one is questioned by the police in the street and must justify the bloodstains on oneself. Furthermore, butchers often work during the night as the meat must be sold fresh each morning. His nocturnal absences were easily justifiable. Finally, he works in the butchers or slaughterhouses. Nothing could be more simple than slipping a kidney in here and using a knife soiled with human blood there.
This story is frightful, Holmes.
Indeed, Watson. Lies, infidelity, venereal disease, murder, mutilation, and finally cannibalism. A complete anthology of what humans at their most vile are capable.
Let's go at once to Whitechapel and put this madman where he can do no more harm, Holmes.
Let's, Watson.
I do believe we are not alone. I hope these men won't prevent us from passing.
Me? No. But you, yes, Watson. Your journey ends here tonight.
Pardon?
You're sometimes a little hot-headed. And moreover, Mr. Solomonovich has a few things to tell you. I won't be long.
You can come in, Mr. Holmes. He's waiting for you inside. Everything was organized according to your instructions. I don't know how to thank you.
Later. Dr. Watson is awaiting an explanation from you.
Could have been driven mad by mercury treatment.
Hello, Watson.
Holmes, have you the slightest idea what you are doing?
I think so, Watson.
Leaving this bloodthirsty pervert at liberty and hiding his existence from the London police? What folly!
Certainly, the police will never find their man, but with so many men deployed, this affair will indirectly have a benevolent effect on the crime in the vicinity.
But Holmes, wait! Justice hasn't been served, and we are accomplices to the fact.
Justice? But I don't serve justice, Watson. I serve truth. And incidentally, I serve my country, and I don't think that I have ever served it better than today. Imagine if after months of terror and a murder as abominable as that of Miller's Court, we deliver to the English people a man of the Jewish faith, a journeyman and head of family as the guilty party. A man who forced members of his own people to eat human flesh. All of this contained tension would have exploded in a myriad of anti-Semitic acts which would have thrown Whitechapel into a rage of fire and blood. And this man's family, who are completely innocent and have suffered more than their lot, would have been the first in the line of sight. Should we condemn an entire people to shame and promise them 1,000 wounds because one of their members committed an unmentionable crime? Neither I nor you have the right to do so. Jacob Levy, Jack the Ripper, is now in the hands of his own people. I have complete faith in Mr. Solomovich and the members of his community who, I remind you, courageously helped us. They took great risks and acted with the most salutary discretion. And, oh yes, it is understood that you cannot chronicle this investigation. It would be best to invent a story that takes us far from London during the somber period, in pursuit of, let's see, something challenging. A ghostly dog that glows in the night.
Don't be ridiculous, Holmes. But what will happen now? The police will endure a serious setback and a real loss of credibility. And this man?
Well, a few months after the murders have ceased, the police commission, finding themselves at an impasse, will come up with a story to tell, and everyone will vow that they know the secret identity of the killer without having the right to reveal it. As for Jacob Levy, Jack the Ripper, he will be imprisoned by his own people. He will pace like a lion in its cage until the end of his days, haunted by his crimes and his insatiable vengeance, until finally the disease which drove him to kill those poor women will finish its work and make him its final victim.
The murder of Mary Jane Kelly was Jack the Ripper's last crime. On July 29, 1891, Jacob Levy died of renal paralysis. In the same year, 1891, the police filed a case for good without explanation. For the general public, the mystery remained unsolved. Jack the Ripper's shadow roams forever in Whitechapel's alleys. Interesting. I did not see this ending coming. This is quite something, I must say. It's funny how they reference the Hound of the Baskervilles at the end. I mean, I don't know details of Jack the Ripper. I want to actually now find a good documentary to listen to find out like the details that are actually factual. Because this has made me slightly curious, also very nauseous at the thought of a human being like this. But I mean, if this is the case, that it was a person who suffered from syphilis and the treatment of that time was mercury, it is very possible that he was driven mad by the treatment, because mercury is toxic. So, and then he also has the guilt of his past actions, as well as his child that suffers because of him. So, yeah, it's a very interesting situation. And it was also interesting to me how Sherlock said at the end, like, he doesn't serve justice, he serves the truth. And I think what he said was true. If this was brought to light, many more people's lives would have been ruined. But now, is this playing vigilante? I mean, taking the law into your own hands. Yeah, if the murder stopped, I mean, that's wonderful. But it's a difficult thing to think about. But also, yeah, I wouldn't want. Oh my goodness. We would like to thank our fans and players. Without you, we won't be here today. Gary G, who missed his last saving throw, rest in peace. The first DM, he taught us to roll the dice. He opened the doors to new worlds. The Sherlock Holmes, Thierry and Alexis that have been constantly helping us work. Marita Robertson, Becky Waxman, all the game boomers. Focus team, always supporting us in all situations. Lauren from Nadio, Patrick from Cyanide, Nate, Jessica, Jeff, Jolene, Julia, and Paul from British Games, Gaysbook, the Ripper. Okay, so they based this on one of the theories of who Jack the Ripper could have been. Yeah, it stimulates the little grey cells, I must say. him yet. Oh no, ending structure. Alright, let's see. And port. Yeah, I think I know who I want to wait. Oh, and they're having an affiliate birthday and they just started streaming. Yes, we are definitely raiding. Alright. Right. Copy. And then right. Let's see. I'm thinking Metallic Z-Man, Droll Souls, Water Bunny, Lord Casero, Papa Wolf, Viola, Magical Beast, Cobbis Nero, Gamers Lounge, Mind in My Bubble, Shira Mutant, and anyone else who is in here that I don't see. Thank you again to Crested and um sorry, I'm thinking now. The other person who rated me. It was so long ago, but thank you all. I really appreciated it. Thank you for hanging out with me and seeing this through to the end. This was quite a surprise ending. This weekend is couple stream again, so it will be either on my channel or Metallic Z-Man, so look out for that. And yes, until we see each other again, please stay safe, stay beautiful, and remember that you are very much loved. Because I love all my sprites. Bye now.
I will let you guys know if I need another mod, okay? I promise. What just happened? Oh, hello, Love Pub. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. Hello, raiders. I'm Water Bunny. I just do